How are you doing today? Bob Folks here for the Gilly Glue. Today we're going to talk snowy owls and winter birds that come down from the north in the wintertime. I always say we see birds in the summertime we don't see in the wintertime, and we see birds in the wintertime we don't see in the summertime. Snowy owls. Who doesn't love the snowy owl? Lots of interesting things happening with the snowy owl. And as you know, in 2013, we had a bit of an owl eruption here in eastern Ontario. They called it an eruption because it was a flood of a high number of birds, a very unhistorical number of birds that came down into the south from the Arctic in the wintertime in 2013. There was lots of discussion and conversation and study about it. Traditionally, it's found that when the lemmings are in short supply in the Arctic, owls have to transition into other areas for food. But they found that particular year in 2013, there was an abundance of lemmings and that they couldn't figure out exactly what happened. What happened throughout the transition of their cycle of life, that there was abundance of food source. So when there's an abundance of food, we have an abundance of chicks. So traditionally owls, snowy owls particularly, will have between 3 and 4 eggs in each year, each nesting season. They found that those years they were having upwards to 7, 8, and 9 eggs in their hatch. So a big increase in numbers. So in 2013, we found that there was a lot of first-year males that were coming down into our area and going to upper U.S. And in that, they determined that the territorial necessities of the snowy owl, they found that they were needing more territory. So they came down into this area. So they've been continuing to study, and studies have found that also that this year, so the winter of 2017-2018, we're also going to see, it's being predicted, that we're going to see a large influx of snowy owls into our area. So when we get snowy owls, and depending on food sources, we also get great gray owls, we get northern hawk owl, all kinds of those different birds that come down in the wintertime. So be prepared, get your binoculars ready, because I think, and your camera, as I think we're going to see lots of snowy owls this year. And as I always say, don't get too close. If your camera isn't sufficient enough to be able to take a picture without encroaching on the space of a stressed, possibly stressed bird, hungry bird, he's trying to hunt, and he's concerned because somebody's walking up on him, that you cannot do that. That puts undue stress upon the birds, and perhaps he's going to miss a meal because you've got too close to him. The other thing that's happened through some research and some study is that they found that first-year males or juvenile birds aren't accustomed to humans because they're accustomed to living in the tundra. They don't know to move from you. So they may seem like they're looking at you thinking, well, I wonder what this is and why there's something coming close. And you think that it's all right that they're not stressed, but it's because they're unaware. So it's taking their attention from what they're supposed to be paying attention to, like getting their next meal or being careful about traffic or any of those other number of things, because they're also not used to cars. So there's a lot of mortality on snowy owls because they're being hit by vehicles on roadways. So we see them here in the Ottawa area in eastern Ontario. We see them up on lamp standards along the 4-lane highways and things, because it's a roosting point for them and they don't know what to do with the traffic. So you got to be very careful and very protective of their space. So if your camera isn't such that you can get close with the lens, get the lens close without getting near the bird and stressing the birds, then stay away from the bird and watch from a distance. Just use your binoculars, I guess, or you have to buy another lens. It's always a 2-foot-itis that we have that problem. So it's very important that you do that. Other areas where the snowy owls get in trouble are around airports and runways and what have you, because there it's open space. It's the tundra. They're used to having open space to land in. So they end up in airports and things. So there's lots of work being done to accommodate the snowy owls when they come to the southern part of Canada. So it's very important that you keep a keen eye out and watch for the snowies, watch for the great grays, watch for the northern hawk owls, because I think this year, 2017-2018 winter, is going to be a great year for the snowy owl. So anything we do, by all means, check out www.gillygaloober.com or stop in at either of our locations, 160 Preston Street in Ottawa, Ontario, or 14 Mill Street in Elmont, Ontario. And remember, as they say, Cardinals are red, and Blue Jays are blue, and all the best seed comes from the Gilly Galoo.